Hey guys, it's Odessa Sam here at Aquaba Academy. For my old subscribers, welcome back. And if you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click that notification bell so that way you can get notified when I drop new content here. And thank you for watching. So in today's video, I will be talking about why you should differentiate name cards for preschoolers. So I've taught pre-K for many years, and what I've done at the beginning of the year, I typically give my students a piece of paper and ask them to write their name so that way I can gauge where they are in terms of writing. And typically children will range from no previous writing skills at all based on the scribbles that I see on the paper, or I can see that some need additional support with correct pencil grip. The lines are not very dark, which means that they need some more, practice with writing. And then some I will see that I can tell like, oh, this kid's been writing for like the last year because the lines are not shaky at all, very strong, dark. And you can see that they have a lot of control over the way they're writing their letters. And then some are writing all uppercase letters, and then some are doing a mixture of both throughout the name, and then some are doing the standard way of the first letter as uppercase, and then everything else would be lowercase. So there's a range that I would usually see, and based on that information, that's where I would differentiate my name card. So the name cards that I would create will typically look like this, and I'll break it down so that way you can see. So I have my all caps, just first name, all caps, first and last, the standard way of writing. Initial letter would be uppercase, and then just the first name, the standard way, the first letter would be uppercase, and then everything else will be lowercase. So we'll go ahead and get into why I break it down in those ways. All right, so the first way would be all caps, uppercase letters, capital letters. And the reason I chose to do this, the child has to show me on their writing sample that they have no previous experience with writing their name. In other words, their writing sample just shows scribbles, or the child's writing is very, very faint. You can barely see the lines, and they're struggling to form some of the letters. So that child would get this. And even with getting the uppercase letters only, I also differentiate in terms of who will get that and what it looks like. So one way will be that if the child is not capable of writing any letters at all, their name will be written in a highlighter, preferably yellow, and all caps. So every day when they come in, Monday to Friday, they go to the next available name and they will trace that. And by doing that, it's helping them to, get the feel of how to form the letters in their name. And over time, and as well as their pencil grip. And within a month or so, I would say I start to see changes in the child's writing, where the lines are starting to come in. They're applying more pressure to their writing, and you can see the lines more, and it's not so faint. And I would say by the end of month 2, that's when I will see that the lines aren't as shaky. So then I will transition them into being able to just freehand it. While it may be shaky freehand, that's another month or so for them to get that practice, and that's okay. But the goal is they don't have that training wheel anymore with the highlighter. It's the freehand, and they do need that opportunity to put that into practice. So you have that with the highlighter. Then I have the students who are who demonstrated that they are capable of writing their name, and they did it in all caps, but they're not yet ready for lowercase letters. I will give them all uppercase letters, and then they can freehand. And once I see that they have their freehand uppercase letters have shown some improvement from the first time, then I transition them into the standard way, which would be the first letter as the uppercase, and then everything else would be lowercase. And again, every time they have a new card, I typically let them spend some time with that before transitioning them to another card. Or what I would say in my class, you graduate into a new card. So for a child to get this card first, only their first name, they've shown me on their writing sample that they are capable of writing lowercase letters, and it's just a little shaky in terms of line placement and all of that. So I let them spend some time with this before I add the last name in the same format, the standard uppercase first and everything else is lowercase. Let's see, what's the next card? Then we have the first and last name. So for those kids who started out with this card, they can also have first and last name if I see that the child is writing a certain way and they're ready to write an extra name. And sometimes those names are long, so I don't want the child to become really frustrated trying to write two very long names. So I kind of gauge it based on where they are. But once they have this card and I've seen enough progress, that's when they will transition into writing their name the standard way. First, last name, first letters, capital letter. And that's pretty much like my rationale behind why I differentiate my name cards for my students. Something else that I like to do with the name cards to provide additional support for children, if they're not able to recognize their name in print, I will go ahead, take their picture, and then I'll put that picture on the name card as such. So in the morning when they're looking for their name card, to give them a guide as to how to write those letters independently, they will be able to find their name based on this picture. Over time, I do remove the picture, so that way they're not going to have that support the whole time. So they have to eventually start learning how to recognize their name in print. Now, you're probably wondering, why did I not start all students off like this? The reason for that, and this is up for debate, so it's all on preference, but for me, I personally find that yes, this is the standard way that children are going to see their names. And when you're reading print, the majority of the letters that you see are lowercase letters. However, developmentally, where children are when it comes to writing, lowercase letters are typically harder for children to write because they're very curvy. So instead of trying to frustrate the child by having them write all those curvy letters, I personally think that you should introduce them to uppercase letters, capital letters, because those letters typically are, the majority of them have straight lines. And those straight lines are a lot easier for a child to write as opposed to the lowercase letters. And that's not to say they should not see it when you're doing writing. Yes, you can. When you're doing shared writing and you're encouraging the child to join you with writing, that's fine. They're seeing you do it in practice. But if you give them an opportunity to write their name and you see and know that this child is just not ready for lowercase letters and they're getting easily frustrated, but they can do it with ease by doing uppercase letters, I think you should meet them where they are and provide them with uppercase letters, and over time gradually start introducing the lowercase letters for them to write. But remember, you're still teaching them lowercase in other activities. It's just that they're not writing it at the moment. So I just want to be clear on that. I'm not saying not to teach it to them at all, but that's my rationale. Some people may disagree with that, but hey, it's up for debate. In any case, that's my spiel on why I differentiate my name cards. I hope you found this very helpful. If you are a preschool teacher, I hope you decide to put this into your classroom. Alrighty, so go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell so that way you can get notified of new videos when I post them, and I will see you in the next one. If you're not following me on Instagram, please be sure to go ahead and click that link below to follow me there. Bye.